Think about the last time you saw a sheep, maybe on a farm, in a documentary, or even on your dinner plate as a tender cut of mutton. But have you ever wondered, how did these woolly creatures go from roaming the wild to becoming one of the oldest domesticated animals in human history? And what price have they paid for their partnership with us? Today, we're unraveling the wild history of sheep, from their ancient origins to their modern-day struggles. Trust me, this story is far more than just counting sheep before bed. Before sheep became the fluffy farm animals we know today, they were wild, tough, agile, and built for survival. Around 10,000 years ago, the ancestors of modern sheep roamed the rugged mountains of Mesopotamia and Central Asia. These early sheep weren't the wool-covered fluff balls we see today. Instead, they had coarse hair and majestic horns, similar to today's mouflons, their closest wild relatives. But something huge happened. Humans stepped in. As ancient civilizations emerged, people began selectively breeding sheep, not just for meat but for something revolutionary: wool. That's right, early sheep didn't even produce the fluffy fleece we rely on today. Over thousands of years, selective breeding turned these tough, wild animals into the soft, wool-rich livestock we see in pastures worldwide. Basically, humans turned sheep into walking sweaters, with a tasty side dish. Once domesticated, sheep spread fast. They became a staple of early agriculture, traveling with humans wherever they went, from the ancient Middle East to the vast landscapes of Europe, Africa, and Asia. The reason? Sheep were incredibly useful. They provided meat, milk, wool, and even religious significance. In some cultures, they were symbols of wealth, sacrifice, and survival. But here's where things take a turn. As humans pushed for more wool, more meat, more profit, sheep breeding became more extreme. The result? Modern sheep are now so domesticated that many breeds can't even shed their wool naturally anymore. Imagine wearing a winter coat, forever. If they aren't shorn, they can literally be crushed under their own fleece. Just ask Shrek the sheep, who avoided shearing for 6 years and ended up carrying 60 pounds of wool. That's 6 times the normal amount. Talk about a woolly situation. But it's not just about wool. Sheep face serious challenges today, many of them caused by us. Let's start with industrial farming. With the demand for mutton and wool skyrocketing, sheep are often raised in overcrowded conditions, leading to stress, disease, and overuse of antibiotics. Then there's the environmental impact. Sheep farming, particularly in massive numbers, contributes to deforestation, soil degradation, and even methane emissions. In countries like Australia and New Zealand, where sheep outnumber people, overgrazing has led to severe land damage. And let's not forget climate change. Rising temperatures and droughts are making it harder for sheep farmers to maintain their flocks. In some regions, heat waves have killed thousands of sheep in a single season. That's a huge shift from the wild, resilient animals they once were. So, what does all this say about our relationship with animals? Sheep have been by our side for thousands of years, shaping human civilization. But in return, we've reshaped them, sometimes to the point of dependency. It raises a big question: how far is too far? At what point does domestication become exploitation? And as we move into a future of sustainability and ethical farming, how do we find the balance between tradition and responsibility? Here's where you come in. Supporting ethical farming practices, choosing sustainable wool, and being mindful of where our food comes from can make a difference. If we're going to keep sheep around for another 10,000 years, let's make sure we do it right. But now, I want to hear from you. Did you know sheep were originally wild? What are your thoughts on ethical farming and domestication? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.